Hello, everyone. Amazing. So we had to quickly change our plans. So we were planning on being live yesterday, but do you know what? Life got in the way. So here I am on a Friday, still called Talk It Out Thursday, but that's okay. So today we're going to be talking about something I know so many parents are struggling with. It's how do I handle the emotional outbursts at home, at school, wherever it is, without escalating things. It's so blooming hard sometimes. So, if you've ever walked home from school on eggshells, wondering when the next storm is going to break, this one is for you. So, I remember coming I collected my son from school, coming out of school, and the moment he stepped over the threshold, everything he'd stored up for that day would just pour out. It wasn't small, it was pretty tidal. It was shouting, crying, anger, frustration, everything came out. So sometimes it carried on all the way home. Sometimes it lasted hours. And just after we got through the door, it was pretty big at the time. And honestly, I felt like I was living on eggshells. So some days I managed to stay calm, other days I snapped. And afterwards, we would all be exhausted. So I remember one day realizing I can't keep carrying this alone. And I do remember one particular occasion where it was really quite tricky, and I phoned a friend for that help and support, and she came along and she helped me out. So what that actually reminded me is that I wasn't alone in all of that. And that's one of the things I want you to be aware of, is that reaching out for somebody. So if all of this sounds really familiar, let me reassure you, you are not failing. Outbursts like this aren't a sign of bad parenting, they're a sign that your child's nervous system is overloaded. I don't know if you've heard of psychologist Dr. Naomi Fisher, but if you have, you absolutely need to. If you haven't, you absolutely need to go check her out, because she reminds us that when children aren't giving us a hard time, even though it feels like it at that time, they're having a hard time. And that's the issue. That perspective really chimes so much for me. It's like my son's meltdowns were overwhelmed, not misbehavior. And when I responded from the place of understanding things, things started to change. So for me, that was years ago, but the feelings are still really easily triggered, and it was a really, really rough time. Um, so let's actually think, what are the practical steps? So what can we actually do that helps? So I've got 5 things here that I've learned through parenting, through my work as an occupational therapist, and from the brilliant work of people like Naomi Fisher or Bruce Perry, Stephen Porges. These are all great people to check out. So first of all, anchor yourself first. One breath out. Get feet on the ground. Drop those shoulders. Remind yourself, this isn't about me. This is my child's nervous system in overload. That's number 1. Number 2, regulate before reason. In the thick of it, logic will not land. Think about Bruce Perry's, one of his guides is to think about regulate, relate, then reason, and do it in that order. Regulation first, relating second, and reasoning's third. So make it your guide. Calm the body, connect, then talk about it later. Short, simple things like, I'm here, you're safe, just tiny little things, they can work real big wonders. So number 3, plan predictable safe exits. This could mean an after school snack. It could mean having a quiet space at home, headphones, cozy blanket, playing with the dog, whatever it is. Plan those in so they're there and they're ready for you. Number 4, find your safe people. Call that friend who gets it. You're not meant to hold all of this alone. Just phone somebody, just reach out, let them know this is a real struggle. And you know what? If you don't have anyone in your life that you can do that with, then come and join our group. We've got a great little group on Facebook. I'll put a link in down below, but you can come along there and reach out. We're there. We can help. We can be that friend that you need in that moment. Number 5, repair afterwards. So maybe you won't stay calm every single time. I know I certainly don't. None of us do. So what matters though is the repair afterwards, a hug or saying that was hard for both of us and I'm glad we're okay. There was one I recently found myself in a very stressful situation and I snapped at one of my kids. They were pretty cross at me, but they held it together. They walked away. That was fine. Next day, I went and apologized. There is nothing wrong with us apologizing for something we've done. And then we were able to have a chat about it and explain what had happened. It's that repair afterwards. It builds that relationship. So I'd love to know what's the hardest time of day for outbursts in your home. So after school, is it bedtime, is it mealtime? Pop it in the comments so we can all see that we're not alone. And if you'd like to go a little bit deeper, I've written this in my blog. So walking on eggshells, after school meltdowns and finding our way through. I'm going to put a link down below as well. And it makes it really practical. So I've created a co-regulation plan. It's free to download, so just go ahead and do that. It's a step-by-step guide to help you prepare for those big feelings so that you don't have to figure it all out in the heat of the moment. That link's in my bio. So if you take one thing away today, let it be this. You don't need the perfect script or to stop every meltdown. What your child needs from you most is your steady presence. The reminder that you don't have to do it alone either. So those are my thoughts. Go back, rethink about the 5 things you can do. And thank you for joining me today for Talk It Out Thursday/Friday. I'll see you next week. Okay, fantastic.